What's up guys, Steven here and welcome back to Ginger on the Go. Now, it has been a while since our last video. It's been a pretty crazy start to 2022. I won't bore you with all the details, but let's just say a few delayed flights because of COVID, getting COVID, moving, setting up the studio, filming a couple videos that didn't really turn out the way I wanted, and so all that has made it to April without a new video. This is our first video of the year, but we're gonna kill it right now. And today we're talking about the top 5 countries I think you should visit when coming to Europe. Now, everybody's list will be different, but these are my 5 favorite countries when visiting Europe. Each one of these countries I've spent over a month in. I can't get enough of. Some of them I visit yearly, and I think you should stick around because some of them will surprise you. All right, so the first country probably won't come as a shock, but that is Italy. Italy is one of the most visited countries in Europe, and that's because Italy appeals to every type of traveler. And I know that's a cliche, but it is true. So what are some of the reasons I think you should visit Italy? Let's check them out. First up is food, and don't worry, I'm not going to tell you how good the food in Italy is because Italy is world famous for how good the food is. But did you know that the Italian government has some of the strictest food laws in Europe, if not the world? Only certain regions of the country are allowed to produce their delicacies. Think Parma for Parmesan cheese or Boar from Tuscany. Italy is also super strict with their food labeling. Almost anything you buy will have a label saying what part of the country it came from. And getting caught lying about these labels will land you in huge trouble and big fines. And if you're asking yourself, why is Italy so strict with their food? Well, that's to protect their food reputation, but also us as travelers. If we're over there and we see something we like and we buy it and it's not good, that damages their reputation and that sours our experience in Italy. They want to protect us and themselves, so there's no knockoffs in Italy when it comes to food. Those people selling Ray-Bans in the streets, those are knockoffs for sure. Italy also has some of the best preserved history, ruins, and iconic cities in all of Europe. And I'm not just talking about Rome, Florence, or Venice. I'm talking about lesser known places like Sorrento, Siena, or Bologna. As a general rule in Italy, the further south you go, the more off the beaten path you get and the lesser known cities, but there's still some great history, sites, and things to see down there. Not enough people visit the south of Italy, myself included. I have a lot more to see. Italy is also a great country for backpackers. There's a ton of hostel options, it's easy to get around, there's some wild nightlife, and it can be cheap if you watch your wallet. Italy was the first country I solo traveled, and that backpacking trip had a huge impact on my life. I probably wouldn't be making this video if I had never went on that trip. So what else do you want? Italy has it all, from ruins to food to history to being cheap to easy to get around. You simply can't go wrong visiting Italy. I've spent over a year in Italy. It's my favorite country in the world. I try to visit at least once a year when there isn't a global pandemic going on, and I'm actually thinking about going back in a week or two. All right, next up we have Romania, and I bet you didn't think Romania would make this list, but that's because Romania never gets its due, and there are a lot of reasons for you to plan a visit. First off, Romania is off the beaten path. You'll find no hordes of tourists or long lines here. This gives your trip a more authentic feel to it, and also makes Romania very cheap. Insanely cheap compared to some of the other countries like Italy and France and the heavy hitters of Europe. Romania costs nothing compared to them. Traveling around Romania feels like going back in time to visit Europe before the big tourist boom hit. It feels real with no dressing up for tourists, and I love this fact. One of the main things that made me fall in love with Romania is the landscape. You have thick forests and rocky mountains. Most people don't know this, but Romania is the most biogeographically diverse country in Europe. And yes, it took me a few takes to get biogeographically correct. I almost messed it up there. Romania has great wildlife like wolves, deer, or even lynx, but you also have epic cities like Brasov, Sibiu, or Sighișoara that give some great views of the landscape. Romania also has a ton of castles. You have Bran Castle, which is Dracula's castle. Not really, it's the tourist Dracula's castle, but it's awesome, and there's a ton of other things to see and do in Romania, including Bucharest, which is the capital of Romania. It has some great architecture, cobblestone streets, city squares. It's the biggest small town you'll ever visit, and it's super cheap to visit. Your money goes a lot farther visiting Romania than other countries, meaning you can do more, see more, and explore more for a fraction of the price, which is why Romania is one of the top countries to visit in Europe. And if you've been to Romania or you want to go, or if I sold you on Romania, like this video, subscribe if you want. I would like you to. We're all friends here. Warning, another cliche incoming, but Croatia literally took my breath away. I've seen a lot of Europe, and is there anything more beautiful than the Dalmatian coast? I don't think so. There's much more to Croatia's beauty than just the coast. You have epic cities like Split, which are just built around an ancient Roman palace. You have Plitvice, which is one of the most unique and beautiful natural wonders anywhere in the world. It's like walking into a fairy tale. You have the old ancient city of Dubrovnik, which Game of Thrones fans, if there are any after season 8, will recognize as King's Landing. Dubrovnik is beautiful, but the soul of the city has been pretty much taken by tourism. It's pretty to look at, but there's no culture left. It's just all tourist traps. There's epic adventures like sailing tours that will take you down the coast, where you stop at islands and see different small cities. It's also a good country to road trip, and there's a lot of natural wonders to see, but also cool cities to explore. Croatia is also super cheap compared to other countries in the same region, making it one of the best countries to visit. I love Croatia. I haven't been back in a few years. Maybe I should get a ticket there. This video is helping me work through where I want to travel next. And number 4, we have France. Everybody should visit France at least once in your life, if only to see Paris. And I know what some of you are going to say, that Paris is overrated, but it's not. It's just not. It took me 3 times before I really understood what Paris was and fell in love with the city. Now it's one of my favorite cities in the world. So if you've been to Paris and you didn't like it, give it another try, because I think it will change your mind. But apart from Paris, there's a lot more to see and do in France. You have the French Riviera, which is good for a relaxing wine-filled holiday. You have iconic sites like Mont Saint-Michel, cities in the south of France like Nice. It also has great food, countryside, and smaller cities to explore. These are all good reasons you should visit France. Speaking about food, one of my favorite things about France are the bakeries, which are almost on every street corner and are responsible for at least 15 pounds, I would say. I stop by every time I'm in France, which is why I try to avoid France, even though I love it. Another reason to visit France is that it's the gateway to Western Europe. From France, Paris specifically, you can easily get to almost any other point in Europe, making it a great place to start or end your European travels. France also has a lot of hostels, budget airlines, and a good train network. It's easy to get around, and France can be super cheap if you are very savvy with your money. It's also a very expensive country if you don't watch your budget. Our 5th and final country, well, maybe we'll do one more. So maybe our 5th and final country is where I live, Sweden, my adopted homeland. Now, Sweden is not the cheapest country to visit, but there are still a lot of reasons you should come. You have colorful cities like Stockholm. You have waterfront cities like where I live, Helsingborg. There's insane nature. There's lakes and rivers and forests and troll forests. From Sweden, it is also easy to get to Denmark or Finland or Norway, making it a great hub for travels around Scandinavia. The country also has fun festivals like Midsummer and, oh man, my wife's gonna kill me. What's the name of that festival? The Crawfish Festival. Did you know that Sweden has more islands than any other country in the world? Which is a surprising fact, but it is true. Sweden also has over 100,000 lakes. Swedish people are also warm and welcoming. Everybody speaks English, making it an easy place to travel and get around. There are a lot of reasons to visit Sweden, and if you do come, let me know. Maybe we can grab a beer. All right, our last bonus country, which I don't have anything written down for, so we're going off the cuff, is Turkey. Now, Turkey is a great country for a lot of reasons: foods, sites, culture. But one of the best reasons to visit Turkey is because it's where East and West meet. It is a great starter country to understand that culture and their traditions, but it also feels very much like Europe, so it's not too overwhelming. You also have great sites like Cappadocia and Ephesus, and Istanbul is hands down one of the greatest cities in Europe, with a lot to see and do, from mosques that have been turned into churches and then back into mosques. You have the Grand Bazaar, where you can literally shop anything you can think of. Well, not anything you can think of, but a lot of things. And the food is absolutely amazing. Turkey is a great country worth your time. All right, guys, and that's it. Those are the top 5, well, I guess 6 countries to visit when traveling Europe. These are all countries I love, that I've spent over a month in, that I can't get enough of. And some of them I'll be visiting again soon, like Italy probably, Croatia, Sweden. I live here, so I'm always visiting. And Turkey this summer, so stick around for more videos on these great countries coming soon. And until next time, travel with confidence.